guys? Got an Ecoboost today. So we got a 2014 F-150 FX4. It's got 191,000 miles on it. This is a friend of mine's truck. We're gonna tune it, see what we can get out of it. All right, so this thing, just picked it up. It's got a check engine light, so we're gonna figure out what the check engine light is, see if it's gonna inhibit us from tuning this thing. So let's just connect to the vehicle real quick and check it out. It's got an SCT tuner on it, but it's just a CAN tune, so it's nothing like crazy. So we're gonna see if we're gonna do better than the SCT tune. Check engine light, let's see what you got. Oh, come on. No DTCs detected. That's good. So, oh, it's got a closed loop fault thing. Okay, so let's just clear that. It's reading, and it says closed loop fault. I wonder if it has something to do with the tune that's already on it. So I'm gonna download the tune and check it out. Well, it's got a bad passenger side upstream O2 sensor, and it is like, I guess, defaulted at like Stoich, whatever. So called up the parts store. I'm gonna go get one. We're gonna replace it and then start tuning on this thing. I'm downloading the tune right now, and these take about 10 minutes to download. So we'll get this all squared away, and I gotta put some gas in it. So he's got 87 in it right now. I'm gonna go put some 93 in it. He wants a 93, so we're gonna do that, and then we'll start tuning on this thing. Well, I got the old one out. Couldn't get it with the open end wrench part of it, so I clipped the end off of it. You put the boxed end of the wrench on, slide it on there, get your, it's in a tight spot too. Had to get some leverage with another wrench too and popped it, so it came loose. But parts store's got another one. I'm gonna go replace it real quick, put some anti-seize on the new one, call it good. They have a Motorcraft one up there for the same price as a Bosch, so I just put another Motorcraft in it. Got the O2 sensor replaced. Put a Motorcraft one in there. Part number DY-1185. It was the same price as a Bosch. I figured the Motorcraft one lasted 191,000 miles. This one's probably gonna be the same. So what I'm gonna do is get this thing running again. Clear out this code. Alright, no check engine. Put the AC on full blast. Come on, buddy. There we go. Okay. Alright, code's clear. Cool. Let me see if it's reading. Make sure it is reading. I downloaded the tune. You can see what SCT changed on it. It wasn't a lot at all, really. Like, it's safe. It really is. It's a safe CAN tune. I mean, that's exactly what I expected out of them. Okay, cool. It's working. Cool. All right, good deal. Okay, I'm gonna go data log this thing. I'm just gonna see what this SCT tune does, and then I'll start tuning on it with my stuff. So let's get this thing set up and ready to rock and roll. So I'm still on the as found SCT tune, so I just wanting to get a feel for this thing, see how it feels and stuff. It doesn't drive bad. Actually, it's pretty peppy. It's not terrible, but we can make it better. I know we can, because there's a lot of stuff in there that I didn't even touch that is pretty safe to touch. So air intake temps, I was sitting there idling, they're like 125. Going on the road here, they're like 115. I think I'm gonna add a couple more channels too to this thing. It drives pretty good. It doesn't do too bad. The throttle closes pretty hardcore, like when you get into it, and then it shifts gears. I'm gonna try to eliminate a lot of that too. That's another thing with these things. They're really kind of like set back pretty bad on these things. Like, you can gain quite a bit of power by just doing a tune only on these. Yeah, I haven't touched it or anything. I'm still headed to the gas station. I figured I'd just update a little bit here. O2 sensor code hasn't come back. It seems like they're working, so that's good. So I guess that fixed it. I gotta set up one more channel on here, which is like the post air intake temp, I think. So I'll have to get that and see what that is. Other than that, it's kind of like logging a Coyote, just a couple more parameters. You can do like a wastegate duty cycle and stuff like that, like electric wastegate duty cycle. But yeah, he was telling me that this truck is from Alaska, which is kind of neat. It's not rusty underneath it. I was fully expecting some rust, so it's clean underneath it, so that's pretty solid. I think these are the stock FX shocks, that they're red. I don't know anything about these trucks, but I'm kind of digging it. It's pretty nice. So on these, you want to log all of the map points for like the spark and the speed density and all that stuff. You need to see where it's at, like as far as like watt up and throttle, because it doesn't just go to one map point. It kind of mixes them a little bit. So if you're adjusting timing on these, you need to see where it's at, like as far as the map points. It'll be in percentages too. So it's one thing to know about these, is that they're very much torque based, so you need to adjust torque tables on these. What else? When you're logging these, turn off the long-term fuel trims. That'll affect a lot of that stuff. I usually turn off like on the Coyotes, I turn off the mass airflow like temperature adapter or whatever. Like just turn that off while you're logging it and stuff, and while you're trying to adjust stuff, because it can throw things for a loop. Even though it's not a lot, but it's still some. Make sure you do that. You kind of want to aim for 14 to 17 pounds of boost. It just kind of depends on what kind of gas you run. We're gonna put 93 in this one and just give it what it wants. As far as timing, I don't think these like a lot of timing. I've tuned a couple of them remotely, and I've never touched the timing tables on them, and they've always been around like 5 to 8. I figured that was still the sweet spot on them, and it was nothing more than bolt-ons either, so it wasn't anything crazy. So I'm gonna see where this one is. I've seen people crank them up as far as 10. A lot of issues too with can tunes on these is they'll crank up like that mid-range torque and have like that big old spike at really low RPM. That's really bad on the engine. That's when you start bending rods and stuff, and we're not gonna do that either. So we're gonna limit that torque as well. So the torque limiters on these work very, very well. We're gonna keep that in play. We're just gonna use it all for upper RPMs. It's still gonna have some lower end torque and power and stuff, but not like that initial, like, it's way too hard on the engine on these. So let me get some fuel in this thing, get a receipt, and I'm gonna flash it. And we're gonna play around with it. I'm flashing it right now. I looked at the data log too, and I just went wide open throttle once. It was pulling like 2 degrees of timing, but that was probably due to the 87 octane in this. Even though it was just an 87 tune, they still, it just need 91, 93 octane. They really do need that if you want the full potential of these vehicles. Pulling 2 degrees ain't nothing bad, but we can definitely help that. It seemed like it was running a little lean too for a turbo vehicle, so it's not too bad, but I richening it up a couple of points. So now, AC going again. We're gonna go see what kind of difference we made. Shift's a lot quicker now, and going to 1, 2, 3, feels like just kind of coming out of the parking lot right there. So I'm gonna watch the wideband and stuff here and the knock ratio. It shouldn't get anything. Like I said, I didn't even touch the timing tables on this thing, so let's see what she do. A little too harsh on the shifts. I'm gonna bump that down a little bit. I'm gonna fix this real quick. I'm gonna tone it down just a tad, and then we'll go data log it a little bit and adjust the fueling and stuff on it. I don't think it needs a lot, but I'm gonna have a gander at it and see what it does. Okay, let's have a gander at this log. Still got a little knock, but it probably still has some 87 in it, so not a big deal. And you can see it kind of starting to close the throttle right there, which that's fine. It limits itself with torque, so we are gonna adjust this and keep on tuning. All right, I got toned down the shifting a little bit. This is a little too harsh for me. I kind of tune them. I tune every vehicle like it's be daily driven. I just, you know, I want it to be comfortable at like just you know, just normal driving. I don't want it slamming. I don't want it to do anything special. Like, you shouldn't need to do any of that stuff. I've got it logging. Changed some wideband stuff on here too, so I can read the wideband a little bit better on these. Cool thing about these Fords is they all have widebands. Like any one of the Copperhead PCMs or the TC, was it 1797? Any one of those, they all have a wideband. If you ever want to double check your work, just install an extra one like you do a GM vehicle. I'm not sure what style of wideband is. I don't know if it's like a LSU 4.9 or 4.2, whatever. I have no clue. Couldn't even tell you. Anyway, we're gonna see how this thing shifts again. Trans temp 195, we're good. All right, that's a lot better shifting right there. So these things, like, they're not like a Chevrolet, man. They are sensitive to modifications done to that table. So a little goes a long way with them. You don't need to do a lot with them. Give it a go here. Good deal. It was not pulling timing, it was actually adding a degree. You can see that. So when you see knock retard, you can log knock retard just like you do with GMs. When you see it go, like, it'll say like -1, that actually means it's adding more timing. These PCMs are very, very smart. And if you see it taken away, you'll actually see it go the other way too. So really cool setup. So it's gonna give it what it wants. It's exactly what it's gonna do. That actually, it pulled really good. It shifted really good. I'm gonna check this log out right here. I think it was still a little rich, so I think I'm gonna tone that down a little bit more, and let's keep rinsing and repeating. But it runs pretty hard. It's not bad. Look at the log here, and it spikes about 16, and it bleeds back down to about 13. So that's totally fine. Just lose about 3 psi. That ain't nothing. On the initial hit, it spikes to 16 and then it bleeds off to the 13. We've got 9 degrees of timing in this thing now at peak, and it's adding that. So we have 9 degrees of timing. We're still at like a 10.2 air fuel, so I really need to lean that up. I am gonna go in here and change this stuff, and we'll make another hit. It definitely has like a lot more throttle response too, versus the SCT tune. Like, just down low, it just feels a little bit more peppier. Not like it's wanting to get in a boost quick or anything, but it just feels lighter on its feet. I think I'm gonna leave the stock timing tables alone. I added 1 degree in map point 6 and 5 and 6, like at a higher load, because it was just commanding 1 more degree. So I just did 1 more degree just to see if it would change or anything, and I'm sure it will, and it should add 0, and it should take away 0, so it should be okay. We're gonna go for a spin real quick. Let's just see what she does. It's kind of crazy, like these things don't have a boost gauge from the factory, so I never understood why manufacturers do that. I know Fords get a lot of grief for whatever reason, you know. I think it's just a punching bag deal, you know. It's easy to joke around a Ford. I drive one. I mean, I really have no problems with it. I kind of like it. Whatever. I know they kind of had a little slump there with the 2-valve stuff, and those things did not put out a lot of power. But you know, a million taxi cabs and cop cars can't lie. They're not fast or anything, but damn, they are reliable. With a cop car or a taxi cab, those things are meant to rep a curb. You just plow over a curb with one. Like, they'll take it. I've seen it happen. I kind of miss the old Panther platform. Those are kind of, I like those cars. They're kind of neat. The little special Americana, you know, it's like the last full frame American rear-wheel drive V8 car. The last hoorah. You know, it's a shame that Chevrolet didn't, you know, follow suit with it. I mean, they tried to come back with like the Caprice PPV and everything. Those weren't civilian cars, they were just cop cars, and they still put the dreaded DOD in them. I've tuned a couple of those. Those are pretty fun to tune. With their transmission tuning, like that 6-speed in those, the trans tuning in those just sucks, but if you tune them, they're mint. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with these. I really do like Ecoboost engines. The only thing I don't like about them is the water pump design. That's really it. But I mean, this thing's at 191,000 miles on it, and I'm sure it's never been through a water pump. So I think it's probably just hit or miss, just kind of like every other manufacturer, you know. It shifts a lot better at wide open throttle with a custom tune than it did with the SCT. And it feels like it's a little bit more peppy. It feels good. And he can still use, he's got an SCT whatever this one is. I don't know if it's the newest one or what. But he can still use that to monitor stuff. So he can still look at it as boost, wideband, all the temperatures and stuff. So it's a real good tool to have, especially on these Fords and stuff. I mean, it's just a gauge. So that's right. I use one in my truck for that. So I don't do anything with it. It's got a little can tune on it that I just put on there. I couldn't tune it with HP tuners because it doesn't support a 2000 F-150. I put that thing on there and I kind of bumped the shift pressures up and took the speed limiter off. But yeah, we're gonna go make another pull with this thing and see how she does. See if it'll build a little boost. Oh yeah, it builds boost. Spun the tires, but kind of looks like some traction control thing kicked on, so maybe it's not kicked all the way off. I'm not really sure. Should be. Let's just try it again. It blinked, so let's give it a go. I'll just floor it from here. There it goes. A lot better. I couldn't figure out why it kept going like stupid rich, like right before it would shift. So I flashed the original SCT tune. It is rock solid at like an 11.4. So I went back and compared a couple of things and I changed a couple of things. I'm flashing mine again, but just minus those things that I think are controlling that air fuel. But my tune definitely has more boost and more power. Upper RPM, it's a real slug. So I kind of feel the same just because it's so rich. I'm gonna go make a pull real quick and see what it does. I've been on this thing for about an hour now. We're gonna go find out. Yeah, I fixed it. Yeah, it's got a lot more balls. It scoots. Yeah. So yeah, it was at like a mid-11 the whole time, so let's just pull it right here, floor it. Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh yeah. All right, I think we're done. I'm gonna check this log real quick. That's really gonna do it for this one. I'm pretty happy with that outcome. Oh my god, that was huge. That's a huge difference. Oh my god. And it's safe too, like it's not even, oh man. I'm gonna check this log out. I'm gonna contact Cody and then tell him let's go for a ride. This thing moves. Yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with it. So because before I was like, man, there ain't no way, because I've been in them before and I've tuned them before, but I didn't touch that one table that I touched this one time. And so that was a huge difference. So note to self, don't touch that table that I touched. Hey, it's always a learning curve with things, and I love that about tuning, is just figuring things out. Like, absolutely love it. Yeah, let me review this log real quick, and then let's see what I found. Here's the log here, and you can see the wideband up here. Here's map pressure. So if you go right here, I just calculated up here on the tools bar. So it holds about a 180. So I think 80 kPa is about 13 PSI if I'm not mistaken. So you can just type it in right here. 80 kPa, that's about 11. So it's 11 PSI. That's totally safe on this thing too. But it spikes at 210 right there. So we're gonna do, so that's 110. So the reason I'm doing that is for atmospheric pressure. So, 110. Come on, fingers work. So about 16 PSI as it spikes. So you can see that right there. All right, so that's 15.9. So we're gonna watch this log in real time here. So floored it, boom. Man, it's rock steady right there at like 12.0. Kind of gets a little lean right there, which I'm gonna fix that real quick. And it'll gain a lot more torque right here between 4,000 and 5,000 RPM. But this thing scoots really well for a full-size truck. Like, I mean, you can see I go from 15 miles an hour to, you know, 55 in no time. I mean, it's not bad, not too shabby. I'm very impressed with the 3.5 Ecoboost. Oh yeah, this thing's awesome. Anyway, that is gonna do it for this one, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Comment down below what you don't like or what you do like. That's cool. I'm gonna call Cody up. We're gonna go for a spin, get his reaction. I don't think I'm gonna video him. I don't like videoing customers too much, but I called him up with grins pretty much, and he's pretty ecstatic to come drive it. So he's gonna come pick me up, and then we're gonna go for a spin. But that'll do it, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time.